Warning, spoilies ahead. Hi, welcome to Two Guys, One Film, part of the Project Nerd Podcast Network. I am the brain of Dylan.
And I am the brain of Dane.
Mine's sunk a little bit because I am, I guess, full of more juices, more liquids.
And I
Probably
have a lack of juices.
Yeah, probably a gelatin of some sort.
I lack the thick gelatin that would keep me secured to the bottom. That's why I'm floating.
Well, this is the season finale, and we have a very special guest. He is an old friend of ours. He was in The Susceptibles, which was a very influential band to us, and is actually the reason we played music. Would you agree?
Yes, I would totally agree. They definitely got us interested in lots of stuff, and not only music, but movies too. I mean, we definitely talked about movies with this gentleman as well.
Well, I am excited to bring him on the show. Let's welcome John Chafee. Where's he at? There he is. There he is.
Hey, yeah, the recording in progress. I was just holding my ears. It's great to be here.
Thanks, man. Thanks for being on the show.
It's great to catch up with you gents, two of the funniest and quick-witted guys I remember hanging out with back in the day.
That's very nice.
It's my absolute pleasure.
Thanks, man. The pleasure is all ours, I should say. There's just so much pleasure going around. This is a pleasure circle.
Absolutely.
Is that legal to have on YouTube, a pleasure circle?
These days, I believe so, yes.
Well, I watched this movie on YouTube, and there was just straight up boobs, and this has been on for 4 years. I'm like, how did this not get taken down yet?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, seriously.
All right.
Now, you know what you guys remind me of is like I want to drop a quarter in there and try to win some cinnamon twists at Taco Bell.
Oh,
remember those things?
Yeah, you got to spin it a bit, land on the right one.
Yeah, exactly.
They never gave me anything for landing on any of them.
It's because you're a child. They're like, he doesn't need it.
I'm like, guys, I understand this. I love cinnamon twists.
I think it was technically gambling, so you're probably too young to even collect the winnings. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess company policy, they couldn't tell me to not do it.
All right, let's introduce the movie. This week we watched Trick or Treat, the 1986 movie Trick or Treat, directed by Charles Martin Smith and written by Rhett Topham. Am I saying that right? Rhett and Michael
Topham.
Topham and Michael S. Murphy. General synopsis of this movie is a metalhead teenager kid getting bullied. His rock idol dies in a fire. I don't know if it's like accidental or intentional. I don't know. And then
I think they make that kind of vague on purpose.
Yeah, like is it?
But it seems like he set himself immolation. I think they call it.
Yeah, because like he's like sitting in that room in like a ring of fire. So I don't know if he was like meaning to do that,
but was that like just the kid's dream though?
Yeah, but yeah, then the kid gets a record from Gene Simmons, and it's the last record this guy made. And if you play it backwards, I guess the guy comes back to life. So,
and that he does.
He does. Very electrical and very, very sexy, I should say. He does a lot of like Kip Winger spins.
Oh yeah.
Yes, like a ton.
I guess the deal is they originally Gene Simmons was offered that role and he turned it down, and so they found what's his name, Tony Fields, I guess is his name, and he was a professional, classically trained dancer.
Oh, I
so that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like trained in ballet and all these different things. So like when he does that like mean triple spin off the stage,
yeah, I know there's like
isn't there like a backflip or a front flip too? Like there's some crazy. Yeah.
Like, I guess if you know how to do it, show it off, you know.
Yeah,
Bring it all to
I was
the
impressed
table.
by that. I was not expecting that much, acrobatics.
I'm going to start off, I got to say, the fucking soundtrack is great. And how every song is describing what's going on. Like, when he's tearing shit off the walls, it's like, tear down the walls!
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining what's going on, metal music.
I have no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, how does one get the? Is this his nickname, Ragman, or did he give himself that name?
I think like all nicknames, you have to start giving it yourself.
And who
Really?
comes up with Ragman?
Yeah.
Apparently,
I don't
that's
know.
in other countries that was an alternate title, Ragman, and then also Death at 33 RPM.
Ooh, that's very, very long title. Death at 33 RPM.
Well,
What?
the only person you really see trick or treating in this movie is that little girl.
Yeah, and she says,
she's-
"Smell her feet."
Smell my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the come back tomorrow.
yeah. Besides that, I would say trick or treating is largely overlooked in this movie.
Yeah, and like I think Halloween is only at the end of the movie. Like it's all the
Yeah.
lead
No.
up to it, but it's a Halloween special episode. Halloween took place once. If people think Die Hard's a Christmas movie, then sure as shit, this is a Halloween movie.
Right?
I felt bad at that kid in the beginning though, because he like in the hallway, cute girl that he likes, she waves.
Oh,
and he does
the
that
classic
wave
waving
back.
bit.
Ugh. I've wanted to kill myself so many times when that shit happens. I'm like, oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Are you guys privy to that? That actor is the same dude who does Skippy on Family Ties.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I realized that about halfway through because I saw this movie as an adult a few years ago. Never saw it as a child, but I was like, I know that damn kid from somewhere. And then just like one scene, it clicked. I was like, Skippy! Oh my god, that's Skippy!
Was it the scene where you see his butt, or?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh,
That's
yeah.
Skippy.
That's Skippy. I
Yeah.
felt so bad for him, man. That was just like super uncalled for shit.
Yeah. Well, you know how in all high school gymnasiums, the main door in the center of the room enters directly into the locker room and
Oh,
the showers.
Of course,
Yeah,
Every
that's
time.
how they all are.
yeah. And like, I know that was probably a thing back in the day, but I never once showered at high school.
Me neither.
Yeah, me neither.
And like, never once has any of that shit happened. Like, I went to like kind of a shitty high school, but I never had people like bullying kids that much, like throwing them in the rooms naked and shit. I was like, what's going on?
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember like maybe a little bullying, maybe some name calling, but nothing that like screwed up.
No,
Yeah.
like swimming pool murdering.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was straight
And
up
then being like
attempted murder.
and then being upset when she saves him. Like,
That's fucking
Yeah.
straight up murder. You just put a
Oh.
weight in his backpack.
Yeah, that was high school jocks that are attempted murder. Yeah, they
Like-
two go hand in hand.
Well, I think what the problem is that they're all 40 years old and they're still in high school.
I know, I was
Very
like,
much
these
so.
guys look like a bunch of 80s dads.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they like. Do you guys look like that your entire life? Like born to be like dads, like wearing like 90s, like the 90s dad clothes though.
Well, my favorite outfit is the bad guy wears was like cowboy boots with the square tips, and then he has like that thin tie that has the square end to it. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's a sick look, dude.
I almost tried to get that outfit, but I ran out of time today. So.
The hair is great though, man. You pulled the
Yeah,
hair
I
up
couldn't get
fucking
that in
well.
there.
That's a
I don't have a blow dryer, so it was even harder to do.
dude. That's fucking
Back then, you just put on the blow dryer.
that scene where like the what's that fucking guy's name? That's Sammy. When they're like talking
Yeah.
about him on TV, there's like a part where he like is drinking the blood of a snake, and they're just showing this on like public TV. I was like,
Yeah.
"Is this
Well, I love it
fucking
because
allowed?"
he like rips the snake's head off.
Yeah, like is there no programming directors in
Yeah.
1986 for
Like,
news stations?
It's all right. We're just saying how bad it is by showing it. It's no.
Yeah,
big
look how
deal.
awful this is. Look
Yeah.
at him.
And he's having a great time doing it too.
Oh yeah, it's
he's
just-
really into it.
I feel like this is where Bear Grylls got the inspiration to like pee in a snake and then drink it. He's like, oh, I saw Trick or Treat one time.
Like you could use a snake for anything, man. Food, hold your pee for later consumption.
Also, the picture they used for Sammy for like his death picture on the news was like the worst one. He has like the craziest fucking face, and it's like
Is it the same one that's on the poster in the beginning?
I think it's like the one where he's in
Where
the
he's like-
courtroom. Like, yeah, that's a better one, and it's like that upward shot too. It's like it's not really appealing to have that on your wall, but whatever.
You know what he looks like in that? Do you guys remember? I'm Tracy Ullman in Robin Hood Men in Tights,
Yeah.
where she's the witch.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
Sergeant, you want to start and get a witch? I'm just a cook. That's what he looks like, is her in that movie.
Oh, it's so true. Just put some like loosely fitted leather on her that's being held in by like just little straps, and that's her, man.
It's really weird. Yeah.
He's gonna give you a lifesaver and bring you back to life.
What about those posters, man? Some of those have got to be worth some money today.
Dude, and
like
he
if
just,
those
like-
things were in mint condition, rolled up nicely.
Man,
Dude, he just
I
fucking
felt
tore
bad.
down the walls, so to
Man,
say.
I was scared. I was scared when he was doing that. I was like, oh, those records are going next.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah,
so
yeah.
scared he was going to
Me
rip them
too.
off the
It's like,
wall.
don't
I was freaking out. I was like, oh.
I do want to
No,
bring
he
up
doesn't.
a point about his records is he puts them on the top shelf on his bookshelf. See, I put mine on the bottom because they're heavy. I don't want that bookshelf coming
Yeah, you think
down.
that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know, when my hero dies, I typically tear everything off the walls that reminds me of him. I don't want to remember him at all.
Yeah,
Tear down
destroy
the
all the
walls.
memorabilia that I, like, collected throughout. You're not supposed to die. He was being a little weird after that, though.
Yeah, you know.
And then when the mom goes in there and she starts rooting through his stuff and she turns on the radio and it starts going nuts, it's like she's never seen a radio before. Like she doesn't
I
know.
know.
She's just
She's like-
smacking it randomly.
She goes, yeah, straight up 2001 Space Odyssey on it.
Yeah.
Just like, ah!
Like she was so close to hitting the button.
Yeah.
And then I
it's
like how she turns down the EQs and it's like, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do
she's
it.
been alive through the 60s and the 70s and most of the 80s. I'm pretty sure she's run into a stereo system before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that like fucking invented it. And she's like, I can't get it. So I want to talk about Gene Simmons
Mhm.
and like, does he just permanently have eyeliner from wearing the Kiss makeup so much, or did he like put that on? He's like, guys, this is my look, all right? Because he has just this beautiful like eyeliner like all around his eyes. And his
I'm
well-trimmed
going to say
beard.
that. Well, I guess what we would have to do is look at him now and see if he's still rocking the eyeliner.
I try not like he was a good looking guy back in the day. I get it. I get why the chicks dug it. But nowadays, yeah, he's like he looks like
Oh, no,
one of
he's
those
very,
like
very-
the weird pumpkins that they sell at the store. You know what I mean? They're like
not
with all
oblong. Yeah.
with all the warts all over them and stuff.
It's like the ones you gotta. That's the only ones you get if you wait really long.
I saw a blurb about Gene Simmons for this movie. He wanted his performance to be a tribute to Wolfman Jack, and I just don't see it.
He didn't even sound anything like Wolfman.
I know. Yeah. It's like, I didn't catch that vibe from him.
He
but-
didn't even say, Wolfman Jack's giving you this record. No, nothing.
Yeah. You know, one of the odd things about this, well, it's not odd, but it cracks me up, is that there are VHS copies of this movie where it says Trick or Treat, and it literally has Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons right on the front of it, like they're the stars of the freaking movie.
That's the only way to get people to watch it.
Yeah, but how disappointing is that when you go into the theater or you go into to rent the movie and you're like, oh, sweet, Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons in a movie together, and then you bring it home and you're like, where the fuck are they?
They're literally in one scene
Like-
each.
Yeah.
The one scene where Sammy like drags his hand across the screen of the TV when Ozzy's on there is pretty sick though.
What did that do to him? So do
That's
you
what I was
think
wondering,
in the
like,
studio people watching Ozzy live, did his face like get
Just like
dragged
caved in.
apart?
That actually is one of I thought the funnest and coolest things about this movie was all the shit he does through the TV. Like that, when he grabs that old lady.
Oh yeah, and she like turns to fucking dust. Yeah.
And then later the dude is trying to vacuum it up. Like,
Yeah.
I lost my shit when I saw
And
him
I just
doing
like
that.
how quick his reaction was to grab that lady too. It was just like,
I know.
"Hiya," and then, like she's like shrunk down too. It was just so fucking good.
Yeah, that
But
was,
yeah, like what are these people on the other side of that like experiencing? Did they just see her getting like ripped through the camera?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say it's like watching the phone booth disappear in Bill and Ted.
Just whoo.
It's probably got some of that purple lightning. You know what I mean?
It just opens up right in front of her.
This movie does have a lot of James Cameron's Blue Lightning. Like I don't know if
It
he
does,
was
yeah.
like a consultant on this. He's like, ooh, let me animate this for you. Have you seen Terminator 1 or 2? I'm really good at Blue Lightning.
Maybe one of these is a nom de plume for James Cameron, and we don't know about it.
So the part that I thought was funny was like Gene Simmons was like stressing on this kid of like, it's the only copy, but also I have it on tape. I'm like, well, that's not the only copy then, dude. You're like, no, it's cool. I have it on tape over there.
Yeah.
So you got 2 copies then. No,
I thought he
this is the
wasn't going to
only
give him a sleeve either. I thought he was just going to hand him the record.
Yeah.
Like, walk home with this, dude.
one. I like how he's
So-
like, oh yeah, be careful. He just like whips it into the sleeve too.
Yeah.
So Sammy Kerr comes back to life, kills all these people. My question is, if Nuke is the name of Gene Simmons' character, if he ends up with this record, A, how did he get it? Did Sammy give it to him? Did they know each other?
Ooh.
And B, why then, when Sammy comes back out, does he kill Gene Simmons? Because they walk in and Gene Simmons is a pile of dust.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? It seems like he'd be like, "What's up, bro? Thanks for helping me get back out."
And then dead. Maybe this was
Yeah.
part of his plan all along.
He didn't like him ever.
That's a lot of forethought to be like, all right, I'm going to make this record just in case I die. I'm going to give it to my buddy who looks exactly like Wolfman Jack, and he's going to give it to a kid, and I'm going to come right back to life.
I mean, unless it wasn't an accident that he died, and he purposely killed himself in the fire just so he could come back with powers.
Right. More powerful.
Electric powers.
Yeah.
And more spins. I feel like he did a lot more spins.
Not only is he more powerful, he's more entertaining.
And when he starts
then
just
kills the
picking people
band.
off with that guitar. Yeah.
I like how everybody's still jamming for a minute, and then they find it, and then it finally sinks in that, oh wait, these guys are dying.
There's that one
Yeah.
kid, like the first kid to get dusted, and then another kid like pushes forward, like, "Oh, cool, finally room."
Yeah.
And like those kids didn't deserve it. He's not getting the kids that he was supposed to nail, which I think back in the '80s that might have meant something different because when
I
he's
know,
like,
I just
I'm
keep
gonna
like,
nail
that's-
him. I'm gonna nail
like,
all
nail-
those dudes. I'm like,
Like, will you stop saying it, dude?
yeah, I'm gonna nail them so hard.
I would love to see a TV edit of this movie and see like kind of how they do various curse words. Yeah, change things up. Yeah, it'd be funny, but I doubt this ever aired on TV.
I feel like this like barely aired in a theater. It's a good hit though. It's a
If
good
it-
classic.
I feel like I would have really liked it, like as a kid. I don't know. It has that like I don't know how to like I don't know. It has that old like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vibe to it, where it's not like super awesome, but it's still like pretty cool.
Yeah,
You still think back and you're like, oh, Casey Jones was the shit,
and it's just gory enough, booby enough, and scary enough that you like. I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
it doesn't completely just destroy your childhood because it's so scary, but.
Yeah, and there's some funny stuff in it,
Yeah, that kid vacuuming up that old lady.
Dude,
man.
that was so fucking good. And I
So
felt,
funny.
which I had to look up who that guy was, and I just forgot his name.
His
He's
buddy?
yeah, he's like he wrote a bunch of episodes. Oh, Glenn Morgan, yeah, he's like a huge writer on like X-Files and shit. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I think I saw that too.
Oh.
I was like, that's fucking cool.
He reminds me of like, I don't know. He's just like another one of those characters where he seems like he's a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that way, but he just acts that way. He like
And-
lives with his mother.
Yeah, and he's all like, my favorite when he's like, if you want to talk, I'm around anytime. By the way, I gotta leave. I'm like, well, you're not around anytime then, because you're bailing on me right now, dude. When I need you the most, you're like, all right, if you need to talk, I'm here. See ya.
He's like that a few times though. Anytime they're like talking, he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go." Like when he's telling him not to play that tape. Oh yeah, I totally destroyed it. It's cool. All right,
Yeah.
well, are you sure? Yeah, I gotta go by.
Yeah.
He's lucky he wasn't
That
standing
tape-
next to them speakers, man.
What's the other thing with that tape too? Like that manifests itself, right? He puts the
Yeah.
tape in there and it comes out silver and
Yeah, it, like processes its own tape, which I want to bring up. So he's supposed to give the tape to the bully guy,
Yeah,
and then the girlfriend listens to it in the car, and then she gets like gets undressed by a ghoul of some sorts. Would that have happened to the guy if he was listening to it? Would like that thing start taking off his clothes? you
maybe
know? Like-
maybe that's why Sammy was so upset.
apparently
He's like,
this creature, its name is Skeezus.
Ooh, skis.
Skeezus. I was very surprised to find that it had a name. Yeah, some
green
sort of
thing?
supernatural
So the
goblin.
green thing wasn't Sammy. So I thought it was like his ghost, like in the. Oh, that's right. It was like a big like.
Demon-looking thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And it melted
That's
her
just a-
ears.
classic case of chicks sending mixed signals. You know, they're like, I'm into
Oh.
it, I'm into it. And then they find
Mhm.
out that you're a green supernatural goblin, and all of a sudden they're like, no.
No, it's all about. They say it's not about looks, but then
Yeah.
Yeah, but, they see that and
I've got a good personality. Side note, what happens to her? She goes to the hospital. Like, do you get reconstructive surgery on ears?
Permanently in a coma.
Interesting.
She was in a coma, wasn't she?
I don't know. I just remember the guy.
I think I remember him saying that. Yeah.
No, she's in a coma, man. It's totally your fault.
She's just got to get a hairstyle that covers the,
Yeah, it'll be fine. You just can't ever wear sunglasses.
Right.
That's a bummer.
There's a scene that it reminded me of something between all of us was the kid's getting chased by the bullies on purpose because he's setting up like Home Alone traps. And there's a part where they go through the band room and this one kid's cymbal gets knocked out of his hand and just nails another kid in the head. Yeah. And it reminded me of that. It reminded me of that show at Amandanza's where that band Cutthroat and that dude went to headbang the cymbal and the guy hit it and he just cut the fucking forehead open. Do you guys remember that?
I don't know if I remember that. No.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was like, I think he
went running off to the bathroom and that was the end of the show.
Okay, maybe I did. Maybe I do remember.
Because it was. I think that was like their last show.
I'm gonna try to adjust my camera here a little bit.
Because you guys headlined. I think we opened, and then Cutthroat played, and it was fucking hilarious. Because he was just like ran to the bathroom, bleeding out of his head. So maybe that was him.
I think I was like in the back or something. Because we would sit in the back of that place and just drink beer. I wanted to bring that up because he's totally like. He thinks he's freaking Kevin McAllister because he moves a bucket and and then I'll put this chair right here. That'll get him.
Those guys are super clumsy though, man. They trip over everything.
Did you see the friggin' special effects? Like the guy slips on the water, goes like
out the door.
I was surprised there wasn't like a slide whistle.
Yeah. Like I thought it was gonna be more elaborate. Like the mop would do something and like hit electricity and not just like a guy jumps over it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, I got this, Dad. I got the plan, man. I got to put this here. The chair.
As Sammy said, I am the bait.
Yeah. I want to go back real quick to the supernatural goblin rape scene. The score for this movie is done by Christopher Young, and he has lots of like horror movies to his credit. He did Hellraiser, Species, Virtuosity, Rounders, Swordfish, The Grudge, and rounded out by A Medea Christmas, which I thought was really random and funny. But the thing is that the score is very subtle in this, and most of the time they're playing Fastway, which is the rock band music. But in this scene, like it is a very intricate, in-depth score, and this is where you like really hear it. It's like the goblin rape scene. So it's like at some point
it has like a almost you're right, it has like sort of almost at some point tribal-y, like drums
Christopher
going
Young
on.
was sitting there going, okay, now I got to get in the mood for this scene. What are we gonna do here?
Go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, let me describe what's going on in the scene here. All right, she's in the back seat. She's listening to a tape, all right? And now a green ghost kind of a thing goes on. Now see what you can do with that.
Yeah. And then, so he came in the next day with the score, and they're like, "You kind of put a lot of work into that, buddy." Like,
it's gonna be like a 2-minute scene.
Real focused on this scene for some reason.
I take my work serious. I mean, if you listen to the soundtrack of the Medea Christmas movie, I mean, it's great.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah.
I have the LP.
If you play it backwards, does Medea come out of your speakers? So the bully guy, I think he just learned how to curse. Because there's that part in the shop room. He's like, "Do you think I'm a wussy fucking weak tit?"
I know. I was like, "What the hell is that?"
It's like, did you just learn what curse words are and you don't know how to properly put them in a sentence? I'm a wussy freaking weak tit, dude. What the fuck
I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah.
Wussy freaking weak tit.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say if someone came up and said that to me. I don't. No.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. Totally.
Driving in your car, like, hey, I just came through here, and you guys didn't give me a barbecue sauce with my nuggets. You think I'm some kind of wussy fucking weak tit? You just throw it out there.
Just like the look on their face, like, oh, okay, yeah. No, sir.
I've been on hold for half an hour. I just want to pay my pennies card. You think I'm some kind of wussy fucking weak tit? Just random.
You're lucky you're not in front of me. I'd throw some wrenches at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big fucking one. You know I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, oh my God. I'm not going to hit him, I know it, but
Yeah.
He just wants to eat his lunch in peace.
also, who opens a Twinkie like that? God.
It was weird.
He's a metalhead, dude.
It was really weird how he did that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he like crushed the top of it.
Did he like go like suck it? Like, yeah. Weird.
Classic skip the sandwich, goes straight for the Twinkie, you know. My mom packed this lunch. I just want the Twinkie.
It reminds me of the kid from Neverending Story a little bit. Remember how he goes up to the weird attic and he's like eating that
lunch.
sandwich, and then for some reason he goes, "Not too much," and he puts it back. I always thought that was weird.
I know, it's like
What?
oh, I need to save some for the rest of the story.
Maybe he'll get
I
a
guess,
tummy ache,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to go to sleep. Not too much.
That part was always weird. Not too much.
I got a long journey ahead of me.
What was before I forget, there was in rewatching this, when you were talking about earlier, he had that dream when he falls asleep.
Mhm.
I was totally thinking that this was going to end up being like Click from Adam Sandler. Like at the very end, he was going to wake up. You know what I mean? Like they're going to pull that whole like, remember when he fell asleep earlier? You should have been watching. This was all a dream.
But he learned a lesson in his own dream.
But
Which I don't
what makes
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
No. I was gonna say I don't think he really learns a lesson in this whole fucking movie.
He just got upset because Sammy was gonna kill the one girl that he liked. Whoa, dude! No,
Yeah.
wait, no. Now I'm not cool with this anymore.
And he freaking Thelma and Louises it straight into the pond with
Hope you could swim.
yeah.
Hey, where'd that
but-
first burning car go?
I think the police just found it and they're like, oh, just throw it in there. I don't know.
They shoved it off the bridge.
Yeah.
What I like about that the Click thing didn't happen though is that the movie has to own it. You know what I mean? It has to take. It's not just because doing the Click thing is like it's such a cop out because you can do the crazy shit that you want. But this one is like, nope, that shit happened. We're saying that it happened.
Well, now what happens to the kid afterwards? Because like the cops were chasing him down.
I think he takes over the radio station.
Ooh.
Like he just works there now. That's
Because, like, yeah, the kids were like, that's him over there. And then the cops chase him. So is he going to be on the run? And, like, how do you explain, like, I brought a guy back to life and he just evaporated a bunch of dudes with the guitar shooting lightning.
A lot of people explode at the end of this.
yeah. Nobody has iPhones to capture every second of it. So it's all a bunch of people like, I swear to God, he came out of the speakers. And then
And then when they take the cop car, the cops' feet are there. Like,
the boots were insulated. So that's why they didn't evaporate. Every other part of him's gone, but the boots.
them rubber soles kept him grounded.
So I feel like we should talk about Ozzy as like the evangelist or whatever he was. That was a fucking like clever role to have. It's like
Reverend Aaron Gilstrom is his character's name.
He was very coherent through that one too.
Yeah.
It was somewhat surprising because normally he just kind of babbles, but he was very
We've got to stop these people. They're evil.
There was the part when the bully, after the girl's ears get melted, and he drives to the kid's house. He's like screaming the kid's last name, but all I could hear was him saying, "White power, white power," and I was like, "Well, okay, I don't think we should scream on the streets." Sir.
His last name is Wine. What is it? Weinbauer.
Oh, okay. Because
So,
it's like
white power,
white power. It's like, all right, dude, let's calm it down, all right.
He just can't help himself.
Yeah. And at one point I have this in my notes. I have no fucking recollection. I just watched it last night. I wrote Pepsi brings him back to life. Like, did he?
Yeah, like the Pepsi spills on the
Onto the record player.
The
Okay.
record player.
And that's why Pepsi's gross, because it brings back bad people. Okay, so this is an anti-Pepsi movie in the long run.
Oh, well, see, I thought it was kind of product placement because when he's in the shop eating his Twinkie weird, there's a Pepsi on the counter on the desk.
Twinkie weird.
I feel like Pepsi was the go-to. Like, we'll be the product in your movie. We don't give a shit what it's about. Coke's a little more picky, and there's like, you thought about Pepsi, you can have us. I don't care. Because nobody goes to a restaurant and goes, "Can I have a Pepsi?"
they were like, oh, we better take that Pepsi can. Oh no, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, you can just leave it there. It's fine.
Yeah. If they only have Pepsi, you know when you're prepared. Like when I roll up to Taco Bell, it's like, damn it.
Damn it.
They got me again.
Oh, when he tells his buddy to go like steal the tape out of the car, I like how he dresses in all black and it's like the middle of the fucking day.
Yeah.
Like that does nothing, dude. And you're like riding away on your little moped. I'm like, all black's not gonna help.
Super loud moped. I love how fast he pedals when he gets out of there too.
Wind that shit up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your brother had a moped. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that thing.
I remember the moped.
Yeah.
We had there was a summer that we lived at. I didn't live at that house, but Kyle and Clayton lived together, and they had that moped, and all we did was like drive around and play basketball and get drunk.
Oh,
like,
nice.
Ride around on that moped. It was a blast.
It sounds like a
I'm
good
just
fucking
imagining
day.
all three of you on the moped.
It's like Dumb and Dumber, but with one more.
And then you got like one basketball with you. 'Cause you gotta go to the next hoop, you know.
Here is a quick FYI tidbit that I found in researching. Fastway, the band from this movie that does all the sound, is lead singer Dave King, founding member and singer of Flogging Molly.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
isn't that crazy? So
This is not what.
So
How does he go
how
from?
old is this guy?
fuck, I don't know. Apparently
Crazy.
old, but yeah, Google it,
Later
man.
that he was like extremely young. Like
When you go back and listen to like Tear Down the Walls, they're that big hit, Tear Down the Walls. You can totally hear it. You're like, oh my god, it is.
How do
the
you
guy
go?
from
How do
Flogging
you,
Molly.
it's weird how you go from that to Flogging Molly.
Yeah,
It's like, well, I'm done with
Strange,
the metal phase, you know.
right.
like the hair metal.
There was a lyric in one of the songs, I forgot. It's time to get tough. This boy's had enough. And I was like, you know what? He has had
Yeah,
enough.
you don't know how many times I say that throughout the day.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, this boy's had enough.
Yeah. Times are tough, man.
I say it out loud, and my coworkers are like, what? Huh? Nothing.
You wouldn't understand. It's from Fastway,
Yeah.
bro.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Which is cool. Like they have the whole soundtrack to the movie like on Spotify. So if you
Really?
enjoyed
Yeah.
if you enjoyed this movie, people go and enjoy the fucking soundtrack.
Apparently, it was released as like one of their albums. It was just called Trick or Treat.
That's fucking rad.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and slightly embarrassing for Flogging Molly, dude.
Yeah. Like, don't worry about those days. Just listen to the Flogging Molly stuff.
Yeah.
Feel like the people standing there going, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked Trick or Treat.
I just want like to see a Flogging Molly concert and somebody yelling, "Play Tear Down the Walls, dude!"
Tear down the walls. Enough of this.
It makes me want to go to a Flogging Molly concert.
Which brings me to my next point: is when Sammy comes out at the high school, and he starts playing the songs. I like how the band, the Kickers, sorry, they knew exactly what to play. They're like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I know this song. And it's like, oh, lucky.
Like how they just kind of look at each other like, oh, I
Is he
guess
just
this
standing there
what
going like this?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I know that one. I know that
Yeah.
song.
Everybody, let's go. And he like plays one lick, throws the guitar in the air, and then starts dancing and singing.
Yeah. He kind of had like a David Bowie kind of a vibe, and his hips swaying and swinging
Yeah.
and spinning. You know what I mean?
And instead of a lightning bolt on his face, he's got scars. You know?
Like the
a
Goblin
melted
King
face.
from Labyrinth. Those two could definitely do a partner's dance.
Oh man.
Funny thing is I watched this movie again the other day. It was probably about 3:00 in the afternoon, and then later I was going through Amazon and I randomly came across. I don't know if you guys remember a movie called Runaway with Tom Selleck and Kirstie Alley. Anyway, it's this dystopian robot movie where they have like robots that are like kind of like all the ones they have in like Wall-E and those kinds of things, like helper robots and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just start going awry. But anyway, so I'm watching this movie, and who appears on the screen? Gene Simmons.
Oh.
And I was like, I think I'm probably the first person ever to not on purpose watch 2 Gene Simmons movies in one day. You know what I mean?
You say that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't look at my VHS collection.
Yeah.
I was looking through my notes here, and the part where he's like coming to life like the veins in the speakers were fucking cool.
Oh yeah, where it was like coming out like on the outside of the wood. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, man, that was a cool effect.
That was very kind of Freddy Krueger-esque.
Yeah.
But I guess one of these guys, I can't remember which one. One of them worked on the Nightmare Before Elm Street movies.
Ooh, he's like, hey guys, I got this thing where like you push your
face Joel Soysen.
Push your face and hands through a cloth, and it looks like they're coming through the wall.
Joel Soysen, one of the writers, I guess I think he's a producer too, but he worked on some of the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff, and he also worked on Bill and Ted.
Dude, fuck it. See, and that's where he got the lightning shit from. See,
yeah,
which was pretty like fucking intricate. Like there was the one where when they crash into the water, it does like this weird like bubble of electricity, and it does this like cool ripple across the water. I was like, well, that's pretty neat. That's some good lightning effects. These guys put their time in it.
I'm getting so used to you guys being brains that it's hard for me to remember what you used to look like to begin with.
I'm starting to not have a memory because I think there's not enough like air in this jar, so a lot of my memories are going away.
You should have made more holes in the hose. It's what I did before I scooped my brain out and put it in there.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
But I knew it was gonna need a lot more oxygen.
See, that's the problem. I didn't do it myself. I hired someone to scoop my brain out for me.
So check this out. Kevin Yeager did special effects for the film. Later provided effects for Freddy Krueger and the Crypt Keeper. He also has a cameo in the movie.
Ooh.
He's the lead singer of the high school band before Sammy takes over.
Oh, is it the guy that he like sucks into the speaker or whatever?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Poor guy, he's just trying to like tune up. He's like, oh, my amp's not sounding right. What the fuck's going on? And then just dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
He seriously had no regard for anybody's life at the end. Like, it was all about revenge, and then he's out, and he's like, fuck it, kill all the kids. Like,
yeah. Screw these nerds. I'm gonna shoot them with my guitar gun.
Yeah, I'm shredding this solo so much, it's making... And then I like how he goes for the drummer, and then the other guys bail. I'm like, fucking poor drummer. He's like, oh, dude, nobody likes the drummer.
It's almost like if someone today said, think of the most 80s weapon you could think of. And so we were like, okay, well, it's like an electric guitar, right? And it shoots out purple electric bolts and it makes people explode.
Whoa. This is going to take so much money to fucking do, but it's going to be worth it, dude.
If only there had been a video game, like an 8-bit video game made out of this. You know what I mean? Like
the trick-or-treat game where you just shoot people with a guitar.
You get the guitar, yeah. Got the guitar finally.
What'd be great is it's like every time they did those licensed games for like Nintendo or Super Nintendo, it's like just the characters in it and the game's nothing like it. Like the Tool Time game where it's like Pitfall, but you're Tim the Toolman Taylor. I was like, this has nothing to do with it, but you slap the name on it. So you could do the same thing. You just have a guy shooting electricity and he could be fighting aliens, you know?
Yeah, you just put Trick or Treat on the cover.
Oh, exactly. You put Ozzy and Gene on the cover.
Exactly. And then there's a driving the car around up above scene, God. You know, where the car's going out of control.
It's like the fucking Back to the Future game when you're trying to skateboard through it. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. You're trying to beat it before your picture fades away. I'm like, just let me fade away. I'm not doing this shit.
Right.
Like, screw it. There's no way I'd ever make this.
Yeah, this isn't worth it.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I don't know. I didn't feel like this kid's life was all that much of a bummer. I mean, he's got, like, a pretty sick stereo system. Like, that thing is pretty badass. And then he's got himself a car, you know.
Did he have any brothers or sisters?
I don't know. Like,
he has like a sister, doesn't he?
For the longest time, I thought he just lived on his own until his mom showed up. I was like, oh, I thought he had like his own apartment. I was like, this kid's got a fucking maid, dude.
Yeah, and
his mom is.
I mean, it sucks at school. Everybody's got to be dicks, but.
Hey, side note. Also, one last thing before I forget. When did they get? Who put that hole in his milk? When did they put it there, and how did he not notice it?
Seriously?
I thought that too, and I'm like, that to me. If I were to be that much of a bully, that's a lot of work to sneak over there without them noticing.
Because his friend's sitting right
so
there.
You can be like, "Oh, yep."
Because like he opens it too, like it's freshly open, right? Or does he just open it like it's been...
I don't think you see him open it, but his buddy Roger is sitting there at the table when he shows up. So it's like either the jocks walked over there and were like, "Listen, puss, someone to put this hole in your buddy's milk, and you're not going to tell him nothing about it."
Hey, you wussy fucking weak tit! I'm gonna put this hole in this milk.
And you ain't gonna say a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Either that or Roger just doesn't give a crap.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever. This will
He's
be
a hard
funny.
dude to read, honestly.
He had the whole
I-
problem that girl set him up, and his friend set him up the whole time with the chocolate milk. He's blaming the wrong person.
So did that girl set him up when she asked him to come to the pool?
I think it was genuine.
Yeah, I
That's what I
I
thought.
don't think she did. I would say that she didn't, because she doesn't seem to be. She seems to be one of the only people that has any like empathy towards him. Like when
Yeah.
she gets the picture back for him.
Or except for that weird girl when he does go there and she's like, why can't you just be normal? Why do you gotta be all
Yeah.
weird?
I like how it looks like she's gonna defend him, and then she goes over there and like, "You're
Yeah.
just such a weird." Like, that's not helpful.
Why you gotta be
yeah,
like
get his
that?
ass
Yeah.
out of here.
You would know
Have
if
you
you weren't
tried-
such a weirdo.
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
How does that help?
That's too funny. And then like those kids wouldn't just be like sitting around drinking and smoking, and they're like actually using the pool as a pool unsupervised.
Yeah.
We're gonna run on the tiles. No one's gonna stop us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy does like the worst high dive I've ever seen. Where it's like, oh, he's gonna nail it. Nope, doesn't
Right.
nail it.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
Like
He's the janitor who let them in. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if I can swim with you.
That's what that bottle of whiskey holding the door open is for. He's like, oh, you can have that after we go.
Yeah.
That's for you.
This is how I sneak in all the time.
The janitor, yeah. That makes sense.
I like how they probably invited the janitor before they invited like,
Yeah.
Marty or whatever his name was.
You listen to metal music, and I never like. What are these kids listening to? I guess like what 80s pop music, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God, yeah. I remember seeing that scene and thinking like they're making it very clear that these kids do not listen to metal. It was like weird, like there was horns and stuff. It was just like generic
listen
80s
jazz.
synthesizer. Yeah, horn music. It was weird.
It was weird.
But I was like, they're going out of their way to make it clear that metal is not the popular music in this school.
Yeah.
I was glad too to see that like they didn't have any like of like the cheesy pop metal stuff that existed in the 80s. Like whoever put this movie together knew about their music. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like actual like thrash metal kind of a thing.
Yeah, like you saw
Yeah.
Anthrax and
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't like
Some
I mean, I think there
Megadeth.
actually
That
was
cool.
one Poison poster,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, but it wasn't like, you know, the glam metal stuff. That was,
Striper and like Winger.
right.
Warrant. Yeah, I feel like they were, and obviously they had like a good costume department because the kid definitely dressed like a sleazy metalhead dude, like holes in his fucking jeans. And I like the one where he had the bandana around his head at one point.
Yeah.
He's all confident, like I'm gonna fight some dudes. I got my bandana
Yeah.
on, bro.
He's like, hey, Tim, why don't you
That's-
eat this? Smash.
Was it
That was
it
cool.
me, or did that kid like have a really high pitched voice?
He had a super high pitched
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of what made me realize he was Skippy.
Yeah, you're like, hey guy,
Yeah.
I'm the one that started this. I gotta end it. Come on, man. If you die, you don't make you. The fans make you, dude. Come get me. Oh, dude.
No shit. Also, that he's like writing him letters in the beginning. Like, how often?
Yeah, is
does
he
this
sending
kid,
those?
Yeah, how often does this kid write letters to Sammy Kerr? And how many times has he done it before? And it's
And
probably
he
just
and he
like,
always signs off as Ragman. So does he think it's a kid or just some strange man?
Your friend always.
and it just says
Ragman.
like the record company on it. It's like something records. So it's like just like some secretary or somebody who works at this record station is like, oh, another one of these fucking letters from this kid.
This psycho ragman. You can tell
Doesn't
he's
he
a
realize
psycho.
that-
His handwriting's horrible.
Yeah. Sammy Kerr's been in this building one time. It's not like this is his house.
I think I ran through all my notes, man.
I know.
I think I did too.
It's a fucking is a good movie. Should we rate it? Let's go through the rating.
Okay.
All right, John. Since you're the guest, you go first.
Rating compared to all movies that exist, or rating compared to others like films in the genre?
However you want to go, like a 1 to
I would
10.
say when it comes to that kind of like 80s, early 90s, you know, rated R, VHS rental type horror movie, I would give this thing a solid 8.
Nice.
And then as far as, you know, if you're comparing it to, some of the more classic horror movies and some of the finer ones that have been made, it's like a 4.2. Like if you're putting this up against The Shining and The Exorcist and those kinds of.
Dane, go ahead.
For the nostalgic, like John here was saying, reasons, just as being weird and like cool back then. And I know that if I would have saw it as a kid, I would have been like, man, this movie it's so cool, it's awesome. I'll give it an 8, and I'll give it an 8.5.
Ooh.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I really loved. It was like cheesy in all the good ways. Like I don't think they were like trying too hard to make this movie like super serious and stuff, which was really good. Because if they were trying really hard, it would have been like a really shitty movie. But it looks like they were having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
But like, I think just because it had that fucking great message of like play a record backwards, it's the evil, rock and roll is evil. I just like I love that about it. So I think I'm gonna give it 8.4 melted ears is what I'm gonna give it. Folks, if you enjoyed this and things such as this, be sure to check out the Project Nerd channel, project-nerd.com. Check it out. Podcasts, videocasts, all that kind of stuff. Check it out. We're on there. It's all good stuff. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Brain's
What
dying.
happened?
Brain's dying. That means it's time to go. Oh, God. Here we're going dying. Sorry, guys. I'm dying.
Oh, there we go. 6:26. Wow, it's like 6:30. You guys fucking made me miss Jeopardy.
Oh, shit.
That's
Sorry,
right.
dude.
Sorry. I just realized that. I was like, oh, no, Jeopardy's over.
Ooh, yep. My brain's dying. I'm going slowly. All right, John. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is all mine. It was a blast.
Trick or treat, folks. Go check it out.
It was a good movie. It was a laugh and a half.
Hoot and a holler.
Yep.
All right, for Two Guys, One Film, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
You could say I'm John if you want.
I'm John. Bye.
All right, guys.
Thanks again, guys.
No problem.
No problem, man. It was good.